In this low-code feature focus, we'll talk about adding actions to form field change events. This will allow you to set up a form that responds automatically as data fields are entered. This is done using the bindings on change script to automatically trigger a button. Let's get started. In my Plantin application, I have an entity called phrases, and in it I've put all the phrases that we commonly use in our support desk. For example, project work, we have a standard statement where we say that our implementation team is available and focused on helping to build projects. I've defined a number of these phrases. I've also set up an application that reads those phrases and puts them into a response. The idea is that we can quickly build a response from this set of standard phrases. So, for example, if we choose the focus selection and say insert phrase, it automatically adds that phrase to our response. If we also want to say that we recommend a backup before upgrade, we can insert that as well. Now we can edit our response to tailor it to the case and then hit submit. Before we talk about how to automate the selection of these standard phrases so that we can remove the insert phrase button, let's just take a look at how we're set up. So we'll go in and look at the phrase builder. And we have these four things. We have a standard phrases, which is a drop-down with autocomplete, and it pulls its information from the API endpoint method phrases. We return all the rows, and we display the name, and we take the full text for our value. Next, we have a response, and the response is just a Trumboid text editor. Finally, we have the insert phrase button. When clicked, it does an inject data, and it builds up a new value for response that is equal to the value of the old response plus the value of phrases, which is this phrase that they just selected. And next, we do an update form AJAX. This forces the fields to refresh so that we can continue editing. Finally, we have a submit button, and there are no actions associated with it. So when we click it, it just clears the screen. Typically, this would be where you would save your response. So again, from that, we have the ability to select the phrase and insert it. Perhaps select another phrase and insert it. We can do that for as many phrases as we like. Okay, so now let's do the automation. There's two simple things that we're going to do to make this automation work. First of all, we will make the onChange event for standard phrases automatically press the insert phrase button. This will trigger the response to build automatically. The second thing we'll do is to hide the insert phrase button since the user won't need to see it or click it anymore. So we go into the phrase builder and open up the standard phrases, scroll down to the bindings, bind expressions, and look for the onChange click. Now we're going to start with a standard script, and this standard script appears in the comments of this YouTube video. The only edit we'll need to make is to put the name of the button right there. Our button name is called insert phrase. We can see it in the ID here. So we'll copy it and paste it here. Just to quickly review, this does a timeout function for 100 milliseconds, or 1/10 of a second, and then it clicks the button. That completes the first part. Next, we're going to hide the button that we no longer need to use. So we look at the button, look at its UI settings, and we change the style of the button itself to display none, which will hide the button. So let's try it out. We save and refresh. The button's gone. And when we select a phrase like early software release, it inserts it automatically, and yet we can continue editing the field. Let's say we also want to say backup before upgrade, and we hope that it's resolved. We've quickly built a response, and we've eliminated having to click the button. In this low-code feature focus, we've talked about how to add actions to form field change events so that automation can happen as your users are entering data. Is there some feature you'd like to see in our next video? Leave a comment in the section below. For more great low-code content, be sure to subscribe to Plantin.